feeding on the nitrogen and carbon that are naturally present in the organic matter. They slowly and gradually transform the waste into compost, which, when ready, will look like rich black earth. All this microbiological activity heats the waste piles to a steaming 65 degrees Celsius, even in the dead of winter. The factory turns the piles monthly to aerate them. This stimulates decay and ensures it occurs evenly throughout the pile. The active breakdown phase takes 6 to 10 months. A curing phase follows, an additional 6 to 8 months, at the end of which the compost stabilizes. Because the outdoor piles are exposed to precipitation, high concentrations of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium leach into the runoff water. Drainage ditches collect and carry this water to holding ponds. From there, it goes through a treatment system consisting mainly of aeration and settling ponds. As we see in this demonstration, they aerate the water and add certain chemical compounds. The pollutants bond and settle at the surface to be skimmed off. The treated water has to meet strict government regulations before it's released to the environment. Back to the compost now. Once the curing phase is over, the compost goes through a screening process which removes any lumps or foreign objects, such as pebbles or partially decomposed wood chips. The finished compost comes out silky smooth. Before the compost is sent to market, it undergoes strict quality control testing. The factory's laboratory conducts detailed chemical analyses to ensure the compost is at precisely the right level of maturity and that it contains the correct balance of nutrients and stabilized organic matter. Then, a series of growth chamber tests. To ensure the product performs well, the lab germinates seeds and grows test plants in compost-based mixes. Once the quality control department gives the green light, the compost can be shipped out, either in bulk or packaged in bags. Compost is sold as is or added to soil mixes. It improves the soil's structure and actively retains moisture and fertilizers. Compost is a chemical-free way to nourish plants and stimulate their defense systems. This gives them extra strength to grow fast and stay healthy. Today's window blinds come in many styles. Roller shades, roll-up shades, pleated shades, and horizontal blinds, to name just a few. The advantage of horizontals is that you can leave the blind drawn and simply tilt the slats to let in tons of light, a bit of light, or no light at all. Most manufacturers make their wood horizontal blinds from basswood. It's a hardwood, so it's durable. It's lightweight, so the blind doesn't end up weighing a ton, and it absorbs wood stain evenly. First, they feed the rough wood through a planer. They cut it down to 5.3 centimeters, the width of the slats. Then, following a laser guideline, they trim off any excess and square the piece using a straight line rip saw. Now the piece goes through a machine that's specially designed to cut thin slats of wood. Its sharp steel blades slice right through, creating up to 15 slats, each 4 millimeters thick. Here's the piece of basswood before slicing and after. The slats now pass under an oscillating sander to prep them for staining. After cutting them to the width of the window, workers spray wood stain on both sides of each slat, then a coat of sealer to lock in the color. Once the sealer dries, they sand the slats manually to prepare them for a final protective coat of lacquer. Next, using a die, they punch 2 slots in each slat, 15 centimeters in from each end. These are for the color-coordinated cords that will operate the blind. Now for the assembly. They hang ladder-shaped cords called ladder tapes from the blind's headrail, then slide 1 slat onto each rung. Then they thread the blind cord through the slots in the slats, hooking it up to the control mechanisms hidden in the headrail. A cord dangles down the front for raising and lowering the blind. They also mount a wand or cord for tilting the slats. The excess ladder tape is tucked into a bottom rail. To make aluminum blinds, they start with long strips of preformed steel. These will be the blind's headrail and bottom rail. Workers cut them to the required length, which is the width of the window. They make holes in the headrail for the cord lock, the device that locks the blind to the desired height, and the tilter, the mechanism that angles the slats. Now they install those components. The cord lock snaps right into the hole, no hardware required. That's known as a pressure fit. They pressure fit the tilter as well. Next come the tape rolls, through which they run the ladder tapes. They cut the appropriate length and color of blind cord. Then thread it through the cord lock. The tilter turns a rod which turns the tape roll, which tilts the ladder tapes, angling the slats. And speaking of slats, they're cut from rolls of 2.5 centimeter wide aluminum. Workers simply feed a roll into the forming machine, then the rest of the process is automated. First, the machine gives the flat metal a semicircular curve. Then it punches